this is the full review for LEGO set 10305 Lion Knights Castle. This has 4,514 pieces and is recommended for ages 18 and up. Now this set is really cool and we'll get into the details later, but we're just going to do a quick walk around overview. This set is really cool, packed with detail, and has all sorts of really cool, smooth and just really interesting textures around it that pull the build together. So first thing we're gonna do is get into the minifigures. So starting off with these Forceman figures, we have this guy who's got a instrument and some arrows on his back. We have this child with a chocolate statue dude or something. It had the same torso of those, so I'm pretty sure she belongs to that faction. And then you also have this other character with the arrows on their back as well. So now we'll move over to the Black Falcon Knights, of which there are 3. One has this flag and a sword, which is very nice. The next one has this really cool backpack with a bucket and flag on it, a walking stick, and a sword, of course. Now the last one of the Black Falcon kind of faction is this knight with a really cool black sword and a shield sitting on top of his horse, which also has armor, which is really nice to see in this set. Moving on, we're going to move on to the actual Lion Knights faction, of which there are tons of figures. Some of which being just these basic troops with swords and shields, a dude with an axe, this guy who's the flag bearer, a couple of bowmen and bowwomen, so it's got bow and arrow. That one has a really nice face print where it looks like it's closing their eyes to aim through. And this other one here. Back here we also have a few who are haven't put their armor on, kind of off duty or something. This one who didn't have a accessory, but there are plenty of other accessories in the castle that you can equip them with. Then of course you have the knight riding with a axe or halberd, riding upon their horse with a shield, of course. Whoopsie. Then of course you have the queen herself with a very nice sword, a really cool cape, and a helmet for if she wants to go into battle. Moving on to the 2 characters that I just knocked over, you of course have a wizard and a noble, kind of a noble person or whatever. Next you have a couple of peasants, if I can, there. So you have this guy. This guy is a farmer. And then another child. Then for some of the other animals, you have a little lamb, a bull, a little bird, and then of course the wagon so that they can take their hay in and stuff. You have a little stack of hay and a barrel full of water or wine or whatever. Then these are just for the horses and stuff so that you can fill in the studs if you don't want the armor on the horses. So now we'll move on to the actual build of the castle. I just gotta move some stuff off to the side and then we'll do that real quick. So we're gonna start off with the outside of it. Now this build it's a really nice build. It took me an entire weekend to build, which is really nice. There's all sorts of cool play features, which we'll start with these because they're on the outside. So you can raise and lower the drawbridge via this little turning handle or whatever. Then up here you can push that to lower the gate, or you can wind it up with your finger just like so. So that's a really nice feature to have, a working kind of gate area. You could probably put a figure or two sitting up here as gatehouse people or whatever to open and close the gate. So start down here. This you can remove. It's like the ramp that kind of goes up to it. It's like the last thing that you build. Now just kind of around the sides and stuff, we have some really nice like greenery and stuff. It's nice to have these pieces like in dark green come in the set. If I can put it back up there, just like that. So we'll just spin this guy around. On the side here you have a really nice like water mill and a little almost podium where you can have the queen speak out to all the people, like all the peasants and stuff. Now around the back, I really like this roof design. It's really awesome and stuff. And we're gonna, there's like a kind of just a little area back here, which is nice. That's all walled off and everything. I also love all the little like plant detailing and stuff. That's all just spread around. And then we're back over here with this really nice tree, and of course the knob to open and close the gate. But we'll start over here. Okay, on the side here, sorry about that, dog's barking. We have this little thing that you can open to reveal some like armaments and stuff back here, and of course this can open. It's like a little door, and you'll see later where that is, but it's actually one of the cells inside of the dungeon, which is really cool. So like you have people escaping the dungeon and stuff. We'll come back here for our last like play feature on the outside of the set, which if you reach behind here, there's another little knob that you can turn to raise up this back gate, which all of this is using snot techniques, so studs not on top, which is really nice to see. It makes a really cool like kind of angled stairway. So how you open it is there's just some, it's just kind of connected on the inside there. You can pull it in two pieces, of course, and you can separate it right here. It's kind of difficult to do with one hand. And you can do the same over here, just like so. We'll start over here because this is the first part that you build. So you see how that opens, which is really cool because there's a little build back here that stores like more of this so that it can stretch out. We'll start kind of out here on the outside, which there's like a little stand that you can buy bread from and stuff, which is really cool. And I love all the stairs so you can access every part of the build, and like just like that up there. So you can access the queen's dwelling, which has a little door and a reference to the original Yellow Castle build that Lego made a long time ago, which is really cool. I love that Easter egg. Here's a spot where you can climb up in like a guard tower almost. But this is like the queen's bedroom and stuff, the little quill, stuff like that. Just some basic little bedroom. Move down one floor into this like dining room area with like a piano type thing. I forget what it's called, but that's there. A nice fire to keep the room warm, which is also up here in the bedroom too. And then this dining room area, which is really nice. I love all the shields on the walls and stuff. Then down here you have this area, which if you move this, all that stuff turns. I wouldn't know what to call it, but it's really neat. And then there's a little storage area back here for like bread and stuff. Then down here, it would be really cool if there's a light brick in there. That would be super neat, but definitely was not needed because it looks awesome on its own. But if there's anything that you were to like add or something, you could put some lights back there to make the fires glow and stuff. So this is just like a kitchen area that some peasants can like work in and make food for the queen, which is really neat. And of course, you have the stairs that lead back up there with like a water basin back there for like use in cooking and stuff. Then we'll start from the top over here. So of course up there you have the whatever you call it. Oh, I also forgot to mention that there's a bell up here. There's a bell tower to like notify the citizens when danger is approaching or something. But yeah, of course you have that, and part of the gate back there. This is like an armory area with all sorts of weapons and stuff and some armor back there, which is really nice to see included. Over here is a interesting feature that is on like real castle ruins and stuff. There's holes here where you can drop stuff like on enemies' heads as they're approaching. Sorry for the noise, the trash truck is here. So yeah, you can drop like heavy objects and stuff on there to hinder the movements of the enemies. Then over here you have a like medieval style bathroom, which is where the brown frog comes in play. If you know, you know. Then down here is some more basic armor at the almost like a guard post for the like entrance and leaving of the castle and stuff. There's this little gated area here, and I think there's a ladder back here which leads up to this, which is nice to see. Of course, there's another ladder over here, and just some like storage. This is like a treasury. So there's a bunch of treasure and stuff in there, and then a little bit of story aspects. But over here is the dungeon, of course, of which you have this area, which has a play feature where you can put a figure here, and then if you mess around with this, you can drop them down into the dungeon, which is really nice. For like invading forces, you can have people invading and then just drop them right into the dungeon, which would be kind of funny. Now you have this kind of dead guy back here, which he spent a little bit too long in the dungeon. And then you of course have this larger area, which this larger cell, which as I showed you earlier, can be accessed from the outside. If I can do it with one hand and no eyes. Let me just check real quick. Yeah. So you can kind of see out there. Get my fingers in there. See? Can have somebody like escape from it. Oopsie. So yeah. All in all, this is a very great set with some amazing details, and it looks just so smooth and awesome. So yeah, that's about it for my review of this set. Tons of cool and interesting techniques that are used in this set. So yeah, have a nice day. We'll see you later. Bye.